Let's talk about Adobe Camera Raw 15 HDR Preview and what is the best display reference mode or preset to choose when you want to view your photo in HDR on Apple XDR display. Let's find out. This is ArtIsRight. Before we start, subscribe if you're new and hit on the bell icon so you'll be notified every time I upload cool new videos like this. I made many videos going over Adobe Camera Raw 15 HDR Preview and also a guide on how you can enable this technology preview on compatible displays. I'll leave a link to them in the description below so you can check them out. I feel that this is probably one of the biggest and most profound change in digital post-processing in the past decade. It's one where we can really see the result almost instantaneously and it's just really astonishing. And I feel that this is something that will affect the way how we edit our images and view our images going forward into the next decade as well. Simply put, the future is bright. Now with that in mind, this current technology preview is only supported on 3 displays from Apple at this point in time. That is the Apple Pro Display XDR and the 2 Liquid Retina XDR display that is built into the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro. I have made another video talking about why Adobe choose to only support this display at this moment in time and what are some of the challenges with the other display technology. I'll leave a link to that video in the description below too so you can have a look at those discussions. But in simple, all these 3 displays, what they have in common is that they're mini LED, they're controlled by Apple vertical control stack from the operating system to the system firmware to the display controller. So it enables certain functions that cannot be done on other displays, third-party displays anyway, in the market at this point in time. In addition to this, the display can sustain itself at 1000 nit brightness and it has a peak brightness of 1600 nits. But in testing this function out a little bit further, there are a few things that I have found out on these computers. I'm going to be doing this demo on my 16-inch MacBook Pro. This is the one with the M1 Max chip on the inside, but as long as you have anything with an M1 Pro or the M1 Max chip on the inside of your machine and it's a 14 or 16-inch with the XDR or the Pro Display XDR, you can follow this guide along. Now, the one thing about these displays is that these are what Apple consider to be their Pro displays and there are different reference mode. In fact, I have numerous guides talking about how to calibrate these displays and how to do white point fine tuning and an explanation video on the various reference modes that are inside these displays. I highly recommend that you check those out as well to build some understanding before we dive deeper into this discussion. So at the very fundamental, for you to be able to view HDR on these displays, in Adobe Camera Raw 15 Technology Preview, what you have to do first is go into System Preferences and go into Display. Now with this in mind, you have a few presets that you can choose from. The easiest one to choose to view your content in HDR is going to be Apple XDR Display P3, the one that can go to 1600 nits max brightness. Now what I can tell you right now is that in my testing, it doesn't matter whether you choose 1600 nits here or if you dial in the 1600 nits value. For example, when you want to create a custom reference mode, the max that Adobe Camera Raw right now will go to for the brightness, for the white, on these display at this moment, at least on the 14 and 16-inch laptop anyway, is around 1050 nits. It won't exceed that. So you can type in a value that's even higher. It won't even go to any of those higher values. It would just cap itself at around 1000 nits at the very maximum. Now the other thing that you can certainly choose to use as well is the Apple display, and this is the P3 500 nits. What this is going to do is artificially cap the display high dynamic range to 500 nits. So currently I'm on the 1600 nits brightness, and as I mentioned before, anything that is showing pure white on the display right now will cap itself at around 1000 nits or around 1050 nits or so. The moment I click on Apple Display P3 500 nits, you can see that there are some slight differences on the display at the moment. And just to clarify the way how I'm capturing this right now is that the screen capture for high dynamic range will just show white without detail. So what I'm doing at the moment is I have a secondary camera that is actually filming this laptop display in high dynamic range, and then those high dynamic range are then mapped down into a standard dynamic range for me to compress and upload this to YouTube so you can see the difference between all these settings. Kind of complex, but at least you can visually see what I am talking about. All right, with that in mind, the moment we choose Apple Display P3 500 nits, you can see that the white and the detail in the cloud are not retained very well at all. In fact, what I can show you right now is that if I go back to 1600 nits, it gets sustained better and I can see much more detail in the cloud area that are really super bright there. So you may wonder, is this the best mode to use when you really want to go in and edit or view your pictures in high dynamic range right now? Well, the answer to that is no, because in this mode, your display brightness, you can really change those around, and this doesn't really help you. The other thing too is that with this mode, there is an option for True Tone and an option for auto brightness. You don't really want that. As I mentioned before, you want to be in a very specific reference mode for you to do and edit on your pictures professionally. So for this, well, what I'm simply going to do is click on Preset, go down to the very bottom, and click on Customize Preset. If you have watched my other videos before, you know that I have gone over how to create custom presets already in various capacities. So what I'm simply going to do is that I am going to limit my display in standard dynamic range to around 80 nits, because that is the value that works really well for me for printing, for editing photos and everything. If your value is different, that's perfectly fine. You can have your value be anywhere between 80 to 120 nits and you're going to be okay. What I'm going to do, however, is click on Photography P3 D85 Luminance 80, because this is the preset that I have already created. And what I'm simply going to do is click on the plus sign, and I'm just going to modify this slightly. So with this is saying that it's a copy, which it is. What I'm going to do is type in XDR. This is extended dynamic range, or you can just type in HDR as well, depending on what you want to use. And what I'm simply going to do is type in XDR 1000, because this is going to cap itself off at around 1000 nits. And as I shared with you earlier, it doesn't really matter if you set the high dynamic range or HDR value above 1000, you're really not going to see a difference whatsoever anyway. And this is through extensive testing already. So simply enough, I'm going to keep all the settings that I have before the same. Color gamut, I'm going to keep it at P3, white point D65. SDR transfer function, this is the equivalent of gamma. I'm going to use pure power 2.2. A couple things that I'm going to do that's different is that I am going to enable HDR content, and for this I am going to choose HDR 1000. So I'll type in 1000 value there. The standard dynamic range is still 80, so all the interface that I'm looking at will still be around 80 nits, which is perfectly fine. From there, if you're on the laptop, the Liquid Retina XDR display inside the 14 and 16-inch MacBook Pro, this option must be checked, the limit luminance to full screen capability. If you on the Pro Display XDR, you can uncheck this, so that's just something to note. From here, click on Save Preset, and now I am in this mode. So you can see that my screen overall went darker, because this is now controlling the nit overall on the screen, the interface and everything else at around 80 candela or 80 nits. Now, if you feel like this is too bright for you, you can certainly go in, and let's say we're going to create another one. I'll go in and click on Customize Preset again. I'll scroll down, and from this one, what I'm going to do is click on plus, and we'll change a few things. So what I'm going to do is, for this one, if I feel this is too dark, I'll go 120 at the luminance level, and I'll type in the SDR, or standard dynamic range, at 120. I'll say Save Preset. Everything's the same. You will notice that the interface becomes a little bit brighter. However, I'm still maintaining that detail in the sky. I can still preview high dynamic range up to around 1000 nits. So that's something that I found out in my testing, and I've also done the test with 1100, 200, 3, 4, and up to 1600 as well. There's one more preset that I'm going to create to demonstrate the way how the computer would behave when you try to set a maximum nit that exceeds what the system would allow. So what I'm simply going to do is come into Preset, click on Customize Preset. What I'm going to do is simply copy the one that I've just created, which is the Luminance 120 XDR 1000. I'll click on that plus sign, and I'll rename this to 1600 nits. Now, a couple things, this is going to be a telltale sign that won't allow you to do that, is I'm going to change the XDR value, or the high dynamic range value, to 1600. I'll press the return key on my keyboard, and this returns the value back to 1000 right away. In fact, I can even type in 1200, press the return key, and now it's actually returning and taking a value that's even less. It's only showing me 120. If I commit to this value and press on Save Preset right now, What I'm going to get is a picture that's just showing pretty much like all white, because all the details is only maxing out at 120, and this picture has been specifically edited so that it looks amazing in HDR. So let's try to type in 1600 nits and let's see what happens. Press the return key. Again, it goes back to 1600. Now let's say if I type in 1000 right now and press return key, so that value is taken, and I'll type in 1600 right there. So just change the 0 to a 6. I'll click on Save Preset. Let's see what happens right now. What we can see is that even though we may have typed in this value, this screen at the moment is still only at 1000 nits for a few reasons. I can change between 1600, what I think is 1600, to the 1000 nit, and there is no change in brightness whatsoever. It's showing the exact same picture in the exact same way. Another way how you can prove this is if you simply go and click on Customize Preset, highlight the one that we have just created, click on the plus sign. This is supposed to copy all of the settings from the preset you already have. It makes it so that it's easy for us to modify a preset, and we can see right there that the HDR value is set to only 1000. Now let's say if you made a mistake or if the computer decided to correct this to, for instance, 160. So I'll type in 1600. I'll do that right now, press the return key, and let's say you didn't press the return key unbeknownst to you and you just click on Save Preset. If you have edited your picture for HDR, this is now what it looks like. It doesn't even look good at all. So these are a couple of nuances that you should be aware of when you're really trying to play with this HDR function and Camera Raw 15 HDR technology preview. Anyway, if you have any questions about this or any comments, leave them in the comment section below. Give this a like, subscribe, and hit on the bell if you're new, and you know, we trust.